Chapter 29. No! Jace said, slamming his fist down on the back of the couch he was standing by.
This is insane.
Satele's call had woken him in the middle of the night. When she told him she was coming over right away to see him, he'd still been too bleary from the shots he'd shared with Marcus earlier to ask any questions or protest. Not that he would have refused a request. He and Satele had spoken many times since she'd ended their relationship. Given their respective roles in the Republic and the Jedi Order, it was inevitable. But their meetings had always been official, held in offices or meeting rooms. She'd never come to his apartment before, so he knew whatever business she had was urgent. The Grand Master of the Jedi Order was not a woman prone to overreaction. By the time she'd shown up at his door, Jace's mind was right enough to guess what this was about. Somehow she'd found out about Theron, the spear, and the impending attack on Duro that was now less than 10 hours away. He expected she would try to talk him out of his plan. What he hadn't expected was the scruffy-looking Twi'lek street thug who accompanied the Grand Master, nor the wild story she told.
Do you know how many laws and regulations Theron violated by roping you into this?
He shouted at her. Satele and the Twi'lek were standing side by side in the middle of his living room, a united front opposing him.
Theron could be court-martialed,
Jace continued, stepping around from behind the couch and moving toward them as his voice got louder and louder.
Arrested! This is bordering on treason!
You shout at him, not me,
Tefeth snapped back, holding her ground and refusing to be intimidated by his bluster.
None of that matters now, Satele told him. Theron and Master Nostaral will bring the Ascendant Sphere to Duro. You need to be there waiting for them.
You don't know that,
Jace said.
You just met this Twi'lek. For all we know, she's an Imperial agent, leading us into some kind of trap.
I can sense the truth in her words,
Satele assured him. Jace snorted.
And you couldn't possibly be wrong, because no Jedi in history has ever been betrayed by someone close to them. You Jedi may see more than the rest of us, but you don't see nearly as much as you think.
Sometimes we're blind when it comes to those close to us,
Satele admitted.
But I'm right about this,
she added with the resolute calm Jace had found so infuriating when they were together.
We can trust Tefeth.
Even if she's on our side, we still don't know if the spear will actually show up at Duro. She can't even tell us what Theron and Nostaral were planning.
Was no plan,
Tefeth explained.
Making it up as they go.
That's even worse,
Jace shouted, turning away from them to stalk around the living room.
You can't just improvise your way through something like this.
Don't underestimate Master Nostaral,
Satele cautioned.
Darth Carad was his apprentice for many years. He knows her mind and personality better than she does.
Then why didn't he know she was going to defect to the Sith?
Jace challenged.
We knew the risk, but we decided it was worth it to get someone close to Malgus,
Satele said.
Nostaral will find a way to make Darth Carad bring the spear to Duro.
I wish I had your confidence,
Jace said, shaking his head.
But even if he does get her to send the spear, we can't face it at full power. Theron was supposed to sabotage the ship, but we have no idea what he's done. Even if he manages to plant the virus in the spear's systems, we don't have any way to activate it without knowing what frequency to transmit the code on.
Theron will find a way,
Satele assured him.
Maybe he'll trigger the virus himself.
And maybe he won't. If I send a fleet to Duro and the spear shows up at full power, we'll be slaughtered along with the civilians on the planet.
Send 2 fleets,
Tefeth blurted.
Send 5. Send 10. Even the spear can't win then.
We don't have enough ships in the sector,
Jace said.
And even if we did, sending orders to have everyone converge on Duro at the same time would tip the Empire off. They'd know we were there, and they'd call off the attack.
At least Duro would be spared,
Satele chimed in.
Duro is irrelevant,
Jace said.
This is about stopping the spear. It's about winning the war.
The Republic doesn't win if we don't protect our people,
Satele told him.
We are not the Empire. You used to understand the difference.
Jace bristled at her words.
Is that why you left me? Is that why you didn't tell me Theron was our son?
He heard a slight gasp from Tethys as she reacted to the revelation, but he ignored the Twi'lek, his attention focused on Grandmaster Shan.
I saw the war change you, Satele said. I saw you heading down a path I could not follow. I tried to help you, but I realized I was only being dragged down with you.
So you abandoned me?
I thought our feelings for each other were making things worse. I was afraid that if you knew you had a son, your desire to protect him at any cost would take you even farther down that dark path.
Is that how you really see me?
Jace asked.
As some kind of monster?
Satele shook her head. I don't always agree with your decisions, but I know you are a good man. Hate and anger are a part of you, but they have not consumed you.
The Jedi sighed.
I used to believe that was because of what I had done. Turning away from you, hiding your son from you. I used to tell myself these actions saved you from yourself.
And what do you think now?
Satele hesitated, her eyes shifting to the floor momentarily as if she couldn't bear to meet Jace's gaze.
Is she ashamed?
Jace wondered.
Now, I do not know, she said.
She looked up at him again, struggling to maintain the reserve appropriate for a Jedi Grand Master, but Jace knew her well enough to see what was beneath her stoic mask. Regret, uncertainty, self-doubt.
Maybe I was wrong to hide Theron from you. Maybe I made things worse.
There was a long silence, finally broken by Tethys.
Jedi Grandmaster Mon? Supreme Commander Dad? Now we get why Theron is so messed up. So you're sending a fleet or what?
When Jace didn't answer, Satele spoke up.
You can't let Duro be sacked, she told him. I know you, Jace. You'll never be able to live with yourself. It will destroy you.
It's worth it if holding back our fleet means we still have a chance to take down the spear,
he said stubbornly.
If you send the fleet and the Ascendant Spear isn't there, you save Duro,
Satele said, trying to reason with him.
If you don't send a fleet and Carrot is there, then you lose both Duro and your best chance of taking down the spear. Easy choice,
Tethys agreed.
You're forgetting the third option,
Jace told them.
We send a fleet, the spear is there, but Theron fails in his mission. Then we lose everything. Our chance at the spear, Duro, and our fleet. You're asking me to risk all this on blind faith that Theron will succeed. The Supreme Commander doesn't have the luxury of blind faith.
It's not blind faith,
Satele assured him.
It's faith in Theron. Faith in our son.
Jace stared down at the floor, clenching and unclenching his hands. He knew what he wanted to do, but this was the most important decision he'd ever make. He couldn't afford to be wrong.
I don't suppose you've had some kind of vision,
he said to Satele.
Something telling us what we should do?
The Force has not shown me what will happen,
Satele admitted.
The future is always in motion. Could have just lied,
Tethys mumbled.
Trust your heart,
Satele told him.
Not a very Jedi thing to say,
Jace said.
You're not a Jedi,
she reminded him. The Supreme Commander took a deep breath, then slowly let it out. He'd been fighting the Sith for 40 years, fighting for the Republic, fighting for the men and women who went into battle beside him, fighting for the future of the entire galaxy. But now that he knew he had a son, he had something else worth fighting for. Theron was counting on him, and he wasn't going to let him down.
I'll send the fleet,
he said.
Now get out of my apartment so I can change. I need to be on my flagship within the hour or we won't get there in time.
You leading the fleet?
Tethys asked, clearly surprised.
If Darth Carrot doesn't show, then Chancellor Suresh is going to demand my resignation for botching this mission anyway. Might as well go out in a blaze of glory.
I'm coming too,
Satele declared.
Forget it,
Jace replied.
We're not risking both the Supreme Commander and the Grand Master of the Jedi Order on the same mission.
We serve the Republic, she reminded him. And this mission is critical to the war effort. If there's even a chance I could help, I need to be there. And the Order is strong enough to survive my loss if something happens, she assured him. Just as the military can survive yours. Good luck, Tethys said.
You're coming too,
Jace told her.
What? Why yes?
I'm risking everything on your story, but I'm still the Supreme Commander of the Republic military. I still have responsibilities. If it turns out you're actually an Imperial spy setting us up, letting you go would make things even worse. So I'm not letting you out of my sight until all this is over. Just in case.
Theron better mess up the spear real good, Tefek grumbled. Don't want to get blown to bits.
You're not the only one,
Jace agreed.